Welcome back to another video by Not for the Weak-Minded. I have finished mapping up the oceans, and what it reveals is more biblical truth, that at one point there were only seas, lakes and rivers and streams, etc. And then came a flood. Now, this story kind of repeats itself over and over, and as the story goes, God said we're never going to do a deluge ever again. But that's not the history of the earth. So from my understanding, by reverse engineering the globe, which is actually the Gleason map wrapped into a ball, okay, while they tell you it's a spheroid oblate, yeah, and that's a completely different shape entirely. And we'll do a video about that, very short, simple one. We're going to go back to kindergarten and we're going to put the shape names in the shape holes. Yeah, round, don't say it, I know you're going to say it's round, it's round. Yeah, round means also using this grid system to map the earth, and then yeah, wrapping it into a CGI ball while telling you again, think about it, it's a different shape entirely, a spheroid oblate. Bulging at the pole, bulging at the equator, sorry, because of the moon, and pushed down at the poles, squashed at the poles, because of the rotation of the earth. Yeah? Which is nonsense, because it doesn't exist. Earth is stationary. Anyway, so this map is only the beginning of this collection, and the next stage is to put the topographical maps in. So we're gonna just go through it. Hold on. And so the plan is to digitally try to put the continents in now to how they would look during the first age, the age of seas, lakes and rivers. Alright, and so I have a friend who is going to attempt it, and I'm going to have to try and attempt it myself, because this guy owns a shop and he's very busy and I need to get this done. So I'm going to have to use software myself and cut it out and try my best as well. The idea here is to save time, to basically show where the land mass would be in this age and where it isn't, you know, i.e. where there's water. So if you look on this one, albeit you can't see my cursor, South America, where all that lighter colour is, that's where the water would be. Then you see all the higher stuff, you know, that's how it would look. So in this final rendition, the entire continents will be coloured in, yeah, mostly to delineate where the water would be during the age of that epoch, right? And again, there are various different types. There are vintage ones, there are classic ones, and I prefer the vintage ones. And if this is unsuccessful, I will still use these as a guideline for interpretation and do exactly the same thing I've done when mapping the oceans. So this here, North America, that is Greenland. Africa, right? So you see my intention here, but it's an arduous process. Eurasia, but I will be doing it. I'm hoping the guy that I have doing this is very much capable of cutting them out and adding it into this. So this is the beginning of the end for the globe model, right? And a history lesson using the images of the Earth. We'll get to it in a minute. Now I'm going to go back to go forward. When I first started this project, my intention was to find out how they map the Earth and to replicate it to prove that that's how they did it. That's how they made the globe model. Now, obviously, hindsight and all, and research, I didn't really need to do any of this. However, I'm glad I did, because it then led to the next stage, which is this bit of mapping the oceans. Now, I already attempted it on a certain scale, and I started to colour him and realised, nah, I don't like this, I can do it better. And so after this, you're going to start to see it change, the scale. So you'll see that down in the bottom quarter here, I know you can't see it, the bottom right corner where Australia is, note the difference at the end, for example. Because I go back over everything I've done again, which is why it took me a little bit longer. Now these are my pictures I've taken. They're not all of them. They're not the best of images either by the looks of it, and some of them. But never mind. It's just an example of progression through time. The continent of New Lanzio. Yeah, now all underwater. Yeah, Antarctica, all that land, 2,500 meters above sea level. Have a think on it. For you globies, that is. Why the water doesn't escape, yeah, and why there's therefore more land. But we'll get to that as well, and why then, if there's more land beyond Antarctica, or more land at the centre of the Earth, therefore the projection, what we're being shown, is a lie, right? Because the Earth's bigger. Even if you want to believe it's a spinny globe, right? It's bigger, and therefore it can't be what they're showing us. And therefore that image is fake. So, did you enjoy Nimrod Mass, Christmas, and the celebration of New Year, which isn't really when we should be celebrating it? Mine was alright. I went to see family, and it's always nice to be looked after, but when you're the black sheep of the family, you do kind of stir the pot and cause arguments a lot. Well, these things happen for a reason. This great divide between those who can think for themselves and those who cannot. Those who think they think for themselves but do not. And those that, when they soon research, realise they knew nothing at all. Really. Nothing at all. They don't even understand the model that they believe in. Right? They don't. So anyway, there we go. There's some changes there. More islands being brought in. See? This is a port, by the way. A very large port that connects everything. The two largest ports, coast of India and the coast of America. And Antarctica is a massive port. It's quite a big port as well, coast of the the history of Australia, which was then called New Holland, right, before that, and then what it was called before that. Well, we're going to discuss that soon. We've done a couple of videos on it, but You know, it was called something else. I can't remember now what it was. But it was much bigger landmass, all connected. Right, moving forward. Spring, by the way, should be our new year, really, when things come to life. And so this is pretty much where we're at with my YouTube content, the last video. And so everything here from now on is all new, apart from already showing you the completed section. But we'll flick through it. These are all islands. It's incredible detail, really, and it's insane that this is all done by hand. It's machines, and well, kind of, it's impressive. It really is, because it all connects to each other somehow or another. And I'm going to quickly explain. So you see, I can't because the cursor's not there, but there are darker blue patches in this. Perhaps I'll explain in a bit later. A bit more in there. There's one coming all the way along this towards Australia. Basically, they're rivers, yeah, and they are all now underwater. So have you seen that video where Matey goes down on his sub and can't get through a certain density of water? Or maybe there's something to do with this. And again, this flood that seemed to have happened. Let's go back to that one, because this is basically the rest of it. The continent of New Lanzia connects to this. Australia. Yeah, this is part of our understanding of history, how things would have looked, where they are, and then you got to put the names to the locations and stuff like this. So finally, after a lot of waffling on, we'll go back to this one. So this is a scan of the original, and you'll see it's pretty well done. I will be selling these eventually, but I want to create the collection. I want to finish the collection first. So as I said, the next stage is doing the continents as they are for this age, and after that there's another period in between. So we're going to go to this one first. So some of you may have seen this map. This map, wink wink, right, is from the 1500s. I don't think so, right? Go and look for yourself. Monty Urbano world map. Google it. Yeah, David Rumsey's art collection website. Zoom in, because it's got digital zoom. You can look right at all of it in detail, and go look at the date yourself and tell me what you see, because yeah, that ain't right. So things go round and round and round and round, and history repeats itself because of what we go through now, and wars and killing off people that know the truth over time, and then eventually we have the internet and we wake up again. So this is a gold model of the past. Yeah, they mapped the earth using the perfect circle and told the population at one point in the past the same things they're telling us now. Yeah, you live on a spinny globe. And what you have to then question is, well, didn't they then just have technology as well computers and all the other things we have today to deceive all the nations to believe such a thing. And if that's the case, this could explain why we know nothing about this age, because it was all digital and it got shut down. That brings me to a lot of information which is not for this video about the IoT, yeah, and transhumanism, and the taking of one's soul energy through transfer, because you are an immortal that cannot be destroyed. But anyway, that's a deep subject on your, well, reality. And most people can't get past the fact they live on a stationary earth, you know, water always 6th level and requires a container. I mean, yeah, it's nuts. So this map shows the past. How did it go from that, forgetting, bear in mind that I haven't finished it, that the continents, which are drawn as it looks today, so that, yeah, aren't going to look anything like, right, what it does today, which I've just showed you with the topographical maps. That there's going to be water and raised areas, just like I showed you, and that's going to be drawn in the map. So once that's finished, you will then see, hopefully, you know, the original creation. And then water came in, and then more water came in. This is the story of the Earth, folks. What do you think is going to happen next if this cycle continues? That we'll get back to that. Future map of the world. Nothing I created. Using the Mercator model again, it disgusts me. You know, this flat map, and people think that's the truth as well, when the truth is in plain sight. Yeah, it's the fucking globe, because that's the bloody perfect circle, because they used that to map the Earth, right? That one. New map, you know, wrapped it into a ball, and they tell you that, right? Don't make me go and draw, you know, go draw a sphere oblate for me and tell me that's the same shape that they show you, i.e. this globe, right? It's not a flat disc, right, floating in a vacuum. You have to start again, like with everything, including cosmological principles. So yes, this is how they map the Earth. Again, I could have gone, I didn't need to do any of that previous work, but I'm glad I did, because it's led to this. Right? So make what you will of it. This will, once it's over, this collection, because it will be a series of images, okay, that prove, no doubt we've been lied to our entire lives, and that the original creation is there right in front of your eyes, and then a deluge happened, and these things are caused by what exactly, and who's doing it, right? An airburst event, breaking of the firmament, maybe. Speculation there. People go, there ain't no dome firmament. Well, they've sure shit something, because space is water, and again, modern physicists really don't want to admit what they discover with their tools in low Earth orbit, of course, yeah, i.e. the mapping of the known universe, and the fact that it had 3 times, right, proven the same result, just better detail. Which is what? They labelled it the axis of evil because they hate the truth, right? And that is that there's a sacred alignment with Earth and space. Earth is stationary and at the centre of the known universe. And space is water. Those stars ain't millions of light years away. There's a fantasy. They're right there in front of your eyes, circling around us. Torus fields is the answer to this question. And that takes you back to the sun and the moon movements. That takes you back to your heart not being a pump. And the human chakras, rainbow frequencies, right? So sound in water, sonoluminescence, and the torus field are all part of understanding creation. Just saying, yeah. So they say in their documentaries and that, and other people along with their own research, including myself, that God rests at the center of the earth. Well, that's Mount Meru they're talking about. Mount Meru is not on the map, is it? Where's Mount Meru? Is it underwater now? I don't think so. I think they omitted it through the methodology of using the perfect circle to map the earth, and they only went and cut it out, right? Because where is it? Where is Mount Meru? At the center of the earth. It's not there now. It's not underwater when we have video footage of it in this massive black rock, yeah, in the clouds. It's huge. Just saying, yeah. For something so tall, it shouldn't be underwater, should it? Like it is today. So they omitted it from using the methodology of this, mapping the earth using the perfect circle. Cut it out completely, because you got to bear in mind this goes to 90, but it could have gone to 120, and then you just gone, right, we're just going to cut that. We'll cut it from 90, and then whoop, done, digitized. Ball globe. Well done, everyone. I think I'm done for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. Please be prepared. I'm warning you. Like, our time is running short. Very short. And it's not about death. Yeah? Like, to be in these danger zones is okay. Right? Ideally, if you want to fight the next system and you want to live, then you need to move from the coasts, like, immediately, and get to high ground. Everyone. If this is a projection of their plan through geoengineering, superstorms, just another suggestion of where the water comes from, yeah? They manufacture it. Because these 3 or 4 floods, actually, let's go back. These 3 or 4 floods through our history of the earth, as in our realm, let's see, this realm, isn't the Great Deluge at all. It's a emulation of it, in my opinion. And the Great Deluge is actually without that itself, we wouldn't exist at all. And that's hard to explain. Without finishing my collection, my understanding. So part of this collection, I'm going to go back to that now, is, so you see here, this green patch and this green patch. Well, part of, once this is finished, the topographical maps, the next stage, right, is to show where the next flood happened and where all the water went to. So all of this green in here is water in the next age. Does that make sense? So all that green there, that's where the water was originally. All that water got expanded out all the way out to there. And that's just a little bit of my interpretation, and I stopped doing that because I wanted to do it separately, because I realised I can do 2 images from this one map. In fact, 3 images from this one map. This one, the topographical maps, and then the next level of where the flood goes, to explain how it goes to this. How we can go from that, minus the topographical maps, to that, and then to that. Does that make sense? So my intention is to create 5 maps of the earth, which ends in this age. 1 with this one, yeah, topographical maps, and then 2 with the next level, and then possibly 3 the next level, comparing it to that one, and then 4, we're coming into the 5th age potentially. 4, yeah, but no, this is the 4th age of going into the 5th, but this is not the beginning of creation. Does that make sense? Like, what we're living on is potentially, you know, a giant tree stump with other large animals that lived in that epoch. And I'm talking, you know, mega pit-beards, like dwarfing Enoch 1. That's just right. Yeah, because Enoch was alto, and we got estimations of 3 mile high trees, right? And Enoch was estimated to be a mile high. From we know what an L is. I can't remember how many tools he was, but it was about a mile high, with 3 mile high trees and giant snakes and all other things that have been petrified, right, out there, that they don't want you to look at or even comprehend, because it proves what geology is a lie, because it didn't. These sediments, for example, didn't build up over millions of years. It literally, like fossils, for example, didn't form for millions of years. It formed from a sudden, abrupt event. Yeah, just like the petrified frogs being discovered, right, in Lahaina, Hawaii, after that DW attack. Right. You gotta know things repeat itself, folks. That if we're going through, like, there's evidence of ancient nuclear war all over the earth. Right? I don't want that to happen. But if it's happened before, surely you gotta understand it's gonna happen again. They're not telling us. They're not preparing us at all in this country for war. You know, like other countries across the realm are preparing their citizens and telling them, giving them gas masks, giving them iodine tablets, telling them where to go. Our country used to do this during situations of war, but they don't now. In the meantime, they allow groups like Extinction Rebellion to exist, yeah, telling us everything they needed that we're up against. We're up for extinction, folks. This country, the Western world. I mean, the things that are going on in the world right now, right, you could go at any minute. Whether it's that jab, whether it's from, you know, your diet and these damn Gwen Towers and everything else around us. You know, there's a lot of dangers in the world, and again, it's not about saving yourself from death, it's about saving your soul for eternity. Where do you know, like, once you understand the lies and deception of the world, you wake up within yourself, you change, your frequency changes, right? Now people banging on about upgrades and codes and stuff like this. Now, I don't go much into that stuff, but there is something to it, yeah, because I experienced it myself. I did have a very strange experience over 2 days, and it ended with what I can only best describe as some kind of dial-up frequency being blasted into one ear. However, now you might sound crazy, but the voice I heard prior to it happening was a girl's voice saying helping. Now, I had the same voice speak to me the day before. No, and there was no one there. I'm telling you, no one there. Hi, the girl said. And the next day it said helping. And I had that blast of frequencies. And ever since then, I've been on it really. Nothing baffles me now. I mean, I do a lot more spiritual sessions. I'm much more spiritual. I'm very connected to the spirits. They're around me every day. And again, that's because you got to be careful what you wish for. Prayer works through repeating the same thing over and over again, and that's how you manifest your will, using the power of three. So I said, please let me help as many souls as possible. Now that was a vague intent, because what I was aiming for was, please let more souls see my damn content so I can help them. Right? That's what I should have said, but I didn't. And what I said was, please let me help as many souls as possible. Now my content didn't take off, but what did was my spirituality, and now it's an everyday occurrence, right? Where I literally have to help them cross over, right? Tell them the truth every day. They don't like it, I get whacked, I get touched, but it is what it is. Some people are very aggressive. They're good people, but they can be aggressive. They don't like it, and that's fine. It's perfectly fine, absolutely normal. We're emotional beings, and we have to go through these emotions in order to accept the truth in the first place. So if you're angry at me, it's okay. If you're, but don't dwell on these. Don't let it beat you. Don't let it, you have to go for the emotions, but don't just stay at anger. You have to move towards acceptance, and you're going to be in denial of the truth to start with. Oh, that can't be right, and it could make you angry, and that's all. It's fine. It's perfectly human to feel that way and be that way, but don't continually be that way on it. Does that make sense? You have to think for yourself, and you have to think critically. And when you do that, things change for you. They really do. Because this is the truth. It's in a nutshell, right? We are created. We have a purpose. And in the end we chose to be here in the end of days to bring a piece of heaven to earth. And we will. And they're not going to like it. Operation Looking Glass. Look into that. They do not. And will not. Let me start again. They cannot stop the Great Awakening. And the only way they're going to do it, well, is carrying on with their plans. And the carrying on with their plans is going to create more awakening people. Oh dear, oh dear. Evil isn't going to win in the end, but it sure feels like it's winning at the moment, doesn't it? But you got to bear in mind the whole system's evil. We work for evil. Every one of us. It doesn't mean that you're evil. You just live in an evil system. Money is the root of evil. And now they want to move money to central bank digital currencies. This is a warning to everyone that we need to be vigilant, and when the time comes, which is very soon, very, very soon, right? Before this happens, because this is the end. If anything, this is the end of the reset, right? Where they're just going to cover up everything. But before that, we have to go for a hell of a lot of shit first, i.e., the IoT transhumanism experiment. You get me? That's another video. Anyway. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for waffling on for too long. Till next time. Thank you very much. Please share, like and subscribe.